Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint starts off the Breeders' Cup of 2024. Luke Elder here from the Turf and Touchdowns podcast. This podcast brought to you by the Iron Horse Stallions, New York's newest stallion farm, standing New York's number one stallion, Bucero, sire of Grade 1 winner at Bookham Dano. Check those guys out down below or on the screen around us. But we'll get into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. The draw in these sorts of races is very, very important. We've got 12 of them lining up as we speak. Immediately, I'm getting rid of the high draws. I think stall 12, stall 11 and stall 10 are all not irrelevant in this race, but they're facing very much an uphill battle. Ides of March was a horse who's drawn out of stall 12, was one that I very much had on my radar for this contest, but I think the draw has almost ended his chance. Gates Wire and Governor Sam are also thrown into that. I don't love the draw of Shareholder either in stall 9, for all that he's a very talented individual. And Akoro Sieg, the Japanese runner, is probably about as wide as I'd be looking to go. However, I do think regards to the market, it's got it pretty spot on in this race. Over in the UK, we're currently looking at Asterius at 5-1, Big Mojo also 5-1, and Akoro Sieg, the Japanese runner, at 5-1. 6-1 for Whistle Jacket, 7-1 Ides of March, 10-1 Governor Sam, 12-1 and Bigger the rest. I think this is a race that we can attack though. Look, Asterius and Big Mojo, they've got some decent form. They've faced off in the past so far this season. Big Mojo, obviously, for winning connections of last year as well, RP Racing, and also Mick Appleby when they had Big Evs. We'll see Big Evs later on in the week at the Breeders' Cup. But the latest effort was good over at Doncaster when being beaten by Asterius. I do think Asterius was on the best part of the track that day. There wasn't a great deal between them. I think they're possibly booked in for second and third, and as I say, we'll loop back to this because we are going to attack this race quite hard to start things off. I think Akoro Sieg could be one of the better bets of the 2 days. Now, we're talking about a Japanese horse who, quite honestly, over in the UK and over in America, we don't know masses about. But everything that Akoro Sieg has done on track so far has looked fantastic. Went to Nakayama last time around in the Canna Stakes, broke the track record, looked absolutely phenomenal in doing so. Has got a ton of early speed as well. Will absolutely, from stall 8, be able to get towards the 4. This trip is absolutely no issue dropping down to the 5 furlongs. I've no bother about that at all. I would have liked, yes, Akoro Sieg to be more towards the inside. Stall 8, it is a touch of a difficult one, but as I say, tons of early speed, should be able to get across. Christophe Lemaire taking the ride. I think Akoro Sieg is absolutely the play in this. We'll mention a few others. Whistle Jacket is a horse that I do like from the Ballydoyle team. I'm just not sure whether Akoro Sieg is whether Whistle Jacket is good enough to win a race like this. You would like to think that Whistle Jacket is going to be one that could potentially improve for this sort of trip. Bumped into a very good horse last time around who's been proven once again over in the UK, but whether Whistle Jacket at 6-1 is really a bet, I don't really know. However, is the choice of Ryan Moore, but one that I'll be leaving. I was hoping that Shareholder could be a bit of a price in this race, but again, the draw is going to make life very difficult for Shareholders. So we'll attack the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. Akoro Sieg is the play, but why not try some exotics, be it a forecast or an exacta or trifecta or tricast, with Akoro Sieg, Big Mojo and Asterius. They're the 3 that really stood out to me in this spot. Akoro Sieg, the main one, but I do think Asterius and Big Mojo, they're too well drawn and they're too talented to totally ignore. So those 3 for me in multiples, but the top of them will be Akoro Sieg. As I say, on the Turf and Touchdowns podcast, we've got 13 other videos to look at. Make sure you subscribe down below. Thank you very much to the Iron Horse Stallions for sponsoring this podcast as well. Until we see you on one of our next Breeders' Cup videos, stay safe and look after one another.